What's up, guys? Welcome back. Hold on, my microphone is now. There we go. What's up, guys? Let's try that again. Welcome back to Games with Grant. I'm Grant Burton, and I am yet again playing Disco Elysium, inching closer to wherever this game is going. It feels like it's going nowhere very quickly, and yeah, that's about all that I've got going on right now. About to enter this church and see what's going on in here. Because it seems like there's some sort of gathering.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wood. The lock turns easily. You hear a click as the shackle pops open.
Let's go.
A great whoosh of air rushes into the dark innards of the church, as though rushing to fill a great vacuum. In the heart of the city.
Alright, let's see what's going on here. See if I can be a good cop today. It's about to happen eventually. A strange stillness fills you as you look ahead. You should walk here, not run. Weird music. This grotesque wooden figure looks half finished. More of the forked lightning pattern you saw outside. Bark beetles? No, it looks intentional, some long forgotten style. Alright, let's venture inside. So far I'm not seeing anybody. The blackboard is filled with complex equations. They look recent. The bowl is filled with water. A live wire runs directly into it. Well, that's dangerous.
The silence in this part of the church, it's almost palpable. All the shifting matter and shuffling of living things is gone. Nothing seems to exist beyond the church anymore. Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps would be completely silent.
Wait, I think I still hear something.
And then it's gone. Almost all of it. But for the faintest of hums. It seems the sound here is detached from its source somehow, if not blotted out outright. Truly unusual. You can hardly hear your own breathing.
Yell as loud as you can or stomp your feet and clap your hands.
You produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels even more total, somehow. Your voice is barely audible, not a howl, but the softest of whimpers.
Turn to Kim. What's happening?
The lieutenant points to his ears and shakes his head. Then he leans closer.
Can you hear anything?
Almost nothing, and it's beginning to worry me. Not really, but it's extraordinary. I've never experienced anything like this.
I wonder why the church was built with such strange acoustics.
His detached tone conceals how uncomfortable he is. Maybe the church was designed this way to prevent boisterous activity, singing and dancing, on its premises.
Maybe they wanted to discourage singing and dancing. Hey, what if it's something paranatural? It's probably nothing, just our imagination. Whatever it is, definitely not real. Something odd is happening around us.
Could be.
He doesn't seem entirely convinced, though.
No, I'm not entirely convinced myself. Don't know why I said that.
The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower overhead.
Right, 42% chance of that. I'm not convinced that's gonna work. Try to see beyond the shadows. What if I don't want to... what if I don't want
The
to know what's up there?
silence, the darkness, they've enveloped you as in a cocoon. You cannot move anymore. Relax. It'll be okay.
Alright, not really giving me much of a choice, even if the 42% isn't very good. Yep.
Just darkness without end. It makes your head spin.
What's the darkness like? Try to make out something. Anything. Blink.
There's nothing. You're dizzy and disoriented as you see dark and more dark rising.
Officer, what are you looking at?
He follows your gaze, attempting to see whatever it is you are seeing. What's the darkness like?
Filled with vague shapes of woodwork, the sense of a great height.
Blink. Oh, there we
You
have
see
something.
hanging from the rafters, looking straight at you with dark eyes.
It's Batman.
Maybe it's possible to talk to it.
Well, first I'm going to just look around a bit more. Because there were some things I abandoned, because I thought this part of the church would be the bit that would, you know, the actual meat and veg of this church. 2 decks of reel-to-reel tapes spinning on empty. A portable Harman Wow Sheet tape recorder. Is it possible it's recording something? Someone's siphoning electrical current from outside into this antenna.
A machine stands in the corner, watched over by the figures on the stained glass window. It's turned on and quivering with soft electricity.
Another radio computer. And this time it's already turned on.
These machines sometimes harbor traps, he thinks. Alarm systems and the like. Let's be careful.
We should leave. I doubt this place bears any connection to the case.
Yes, but this machine looks just like the one in the Doom commercial area. Wait, let me just investigate it.
It's also quite similar to the one we have down at the station. Must be the same model.
The one you saw earlier was the Ream Civic. This is the Ream Prefect, a model number RC7024, equipped with a Feld mainframe and a Ream-compatible interim printer. The Ream Prefect is the governmental version of the commonly used Ream Civic model. Although mostly based on the same technology, the Ream Prefect is equipped with better noise attenuation circuits.
Wait, let me just investigate it. You're right, let's get out of here. What shall I do? I feel like I should investigate it.
You see fluorescent play and print buttons on the keyboard. A hatch connected to the central compartment is wide open. The lieutenant says nothing. You see the machine's glowing frame reflected back from his diamond-shaped glasses. You're free to proceed.
Let's look inside.
Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments, smoldering in the dark like fireflies. Silver tape on the side says, in black marker, log, February to March. Another filament memory. Press play to talk with the repeater.
What's the worst that could happen?
The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. An old lady greets you. Her voice sounds 100 years old.
Good afternoon. Votre accident on Saint-Brune. This is the East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
It's the same old woman you spoke with through the radio computer in the doomed commercial area.
Yvonne, it's me again. How are you? I looked into site decor, but the tape on the filament just said log February March, fortress accident like the one in the Doom commercial area.
Good, thank you. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
Fortress accident like the one
I
in
have
Doom.
2 machines registered to this company name in Martinez. One on Saint-Brun, the other on Rue de Saint-Ghislaine.
Saint-Brun, that's the church. And Rue de Saint-Ghilaine, that's the Doom commercial area.
Anything else I can help you with? Good. Please repeat the password.
Let's look around. There's no use trying to guess the answer.
A password? I'm really bad at passwords. Can you give me a hint? Is it my birthday? This is the police. Please open this thing. I don't know the password.
Received. I will register this login attempt. Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
Right, I'm finished right now.
Goodbye, Fortress accident.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated, revealing fluorescent play and...
Right, let's look for this password first.
In white, silver, and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above you. A crack runs across her body. She is impossibly tall, oval-faced and sad. A dark and radiant majesty. This is her innocence, Dolores Day. Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress. You should kneel.
No.
Cold wind seeps in from the crack in the glass. Snowdrifts cover the floorboards at your feet. Above, you feel her multicolored eyes on you, inspecting you.
Look up.
The woman looks down at you standing there. She towers among her followers, architects, laymen, courtiers. There is a sad smile on her lips and a glint in her green-blue eye. Of what? Compassion? Remorse? She acknowledges the passing of someone who is still alive. You.
It's compassion, it's remorse, it's mourning, it's not possible to live. It's compassion.
As that soft word passes through your mind, the lieutenant draws an X-shaped cross from shoulder to shoulder. Your fingertips touch your chest 4 times as you stand in the apricot-colored light of the window. Above you, the woman still smiles, her distant smile, sundered by the crack in the glass.
This is Dolores Day? How did I know this is the mother of humanism?
Despite the damage you've done to yourself, the title appears lodged in your hippocampus. This is her innocence, Dolores Day. The innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. Perhaps the most famous human being ever to have lived. No amount of Commodore Red can wipe her sad smile from your brain thing. It has survived the deluge and haunts you still. And will haunt you forever, as it haunts all men.
Wait, what exactly is an innocence? I've read a book, but it was fuzzy. Which is very true, because a lot of the information in this game seems to go right over my head.
The highest category of historic individual, an embodiment of the world spirit.
A ruler?
More, an innocence is elected to office by the founding party. A precedent that has taken place a mere 6 times in the entirety of history. The legal system of the Real Belt is built to accommodate an authentic rule should it coincide with our time. An innocence is infallible. The decisions made by one are not decisions. They are inevitabilities. What would have happened anyway? Only accelerated, packed into decades instead of centuries. An innocence is a continuous, compressed event. A sacred human being. It is an honor and a glory to live when one is in office.
Is one in office now?
No, we are alone.
When did she rule?
300 years ago, in the wake of the discovery of this Isola, The Insulindian, by explorers from the continent of Muindi. She is, among other things, the innocence of inter-esolary travel and the connected world.
What else do I know about her?
Many things. You know she was a woman of the court, the wife of an influential Marchese, and eventually the principal advisor to Irene la Navigateur, Queen of Serene, modern-day Sir La Clé. Also, that she was gorgeous beyond beauty.
Was she smart?
Terribly, women of the court were expected to play both contract bridge and chess sufficiently well to prove an interesting challenge to a man. A simple grasp in matters of philosophy, theology, and science was encouraged. She was, by all means, a kept woman. She made the most of her position in the antediluvian court, a court visited by the most prominent thinkers and artists of the day. In secret, she was becoming the era's preeminent philosopher of the state, a scalpel, a piercing gaze. She was an almost preternaturally magnetic and intelligent individual. To her contemporaries, she appeared out of time, a messenger from the future of the species. We all fell in love with her, head over heels. Even before she was declared an innocence, her influence was tremendous.
How
It
come?
was on her advice that Irene la Navigateur sponsored a number of voyages into the Pale. A costly, often tragic endeavor, ultimately vindicated by the discovery of the new world, the piece of reality you're standing on. She was crowned 2 years after the first expedition returned, setting in motion what is widely considered the greatest era in history, the DeLorean era.
Wow. I want to say I don't care, but I feel like that's going to have negative repercussions on me.
Wow, indeed. When her innocence was declared, and the queen she had advised for years fell on her knees before her, she was so overcome with emotion that her lungs started glowing in her chest. Bystanders reported golden filaments lighting the already sunlit chamber around her, clearly visible beneath her dress. That is why the lungs are the symbol of love for the cultures of the Riel Belt.
I want more.
As did we all. The lands of the Mesk and the Occident, and even far away Supra-Muindi, altogether 21 of the 40 Mundial nations of the time, immediately accepted Innocentic rule, even before her crowning. In a city called Advesperaskit in Vesper Messina, her homeland, the name of the city means evening comes, but it happened on a winter's morning, with the canals frozen and slush falling out of the sky. She was dressed in a white and pearl dress on an emptied-out plaza with the crowd far away. Already, her Theriers, the secret servicemen of the Innocents, were worried about an assassination attempt.
She must have been beautiful. I don't care how she looked. I don't care. It doesn't hurt me.
Oh, she was insultingly beautiful. She was humanity's young mother, a perfect mother. It was as if her face and shoulders and hands were covered in a soft down of underfeathers. You know this well, very well. Midwinter snow was beating the cobblestones around her. A small attaché of officials stood by as her Theriers placed a white gold wreath on her head. The crowning was mostly witnessed by secret servicemen.
Then what?
One of the men in this secret service killed her 22 years later. A young man who had come to suspect that Dolores Day was not entirely human, but something else.
What?
Something that had walked in our midst, watching us stumble for hundreds, if not thousands of years, until it decided to interfere in the course of our history. We were supposed to come up with this ourselves. The man was reported to have screamed at the Innocents. Dolores Day was shot in the chest with a fowling piece 8 times. The man, thought to be insane, said he once touched her and her body had been unnaturally warm, like a furnace, and that sometimes, while on duty, he observed her forgetting to breathe for over 10 minutes. This inhuman quality was witnessed by many others as well, glowing lungs and all. It is commonly attributed to mass hysteria and religious psychology.
Was there something terrifying about her?
Terrifying is a term too emotionally charged for your semantic memory, or what remains of it. But although she's often considered to be the greatest human being to ever live, there was something ominous about Dolores Day, constantly surrounded by her terriers. She was the most socially secluded and least self-aware of all the innocences. Some modern thinkers would consider her a war criminal for the campaigns she waged against the Mesk state. And then there were the resettlement programs. The Mesk state tried to detach itself from innocentic rule. Parts of the world were experiencing whiplash from accelerating into secularism. Her mandatory education programs and mass resettlement of upstream Marguerite were problematic as well. Dissenters were suppressed by a military force she called the Army of Humanity, suggesting those who fight against it are not part of humanity. She adored chess, yes, but also military war games. Dolores Day often holds a tiny tin soldier between her index finger and thumb in icons such as this. She was also blonde, the blondest woman you have ever seen, with green eyes the color of the Pacentic, mare interregnum. Little is known of her Marchese husband. It's as if he vanished from history after completing his role, which was to introduce Dolores Day to court. In conclusion, yes, there is something lonely, paranoid, and even terrifying that people seldom mention, but feel when they think of her. This subtle terror is part of her iconography.
Officer, you've stood there for over 5 minutes. What are you thinking of, if I may ask?
She's somehow connected to the case. Glowing lungs? That's fucked up. Nothing, just looking around. She's beautiful, she's not human. Yell, war criminal.
Okay. It's just that you've been looking at that window for quite long now. And it's cold in here. This church, the coast in general, we shouldn't linger here. This isn't a good place to get lost in.
This is Dolores Day.
The old woman in the village was right. This must be the Dolorian Church of Humanity in Martinez, or the small Pinewood Church in some records.
You knew of this place?
It's a minor landmark, not easy to find. Most maps misplace it. It was built not long after Revachol's founding, 300 or so years ago, by first-generation settlers.
On the coast of an uninhabited archipelago where only animals had roamed before, in the wild reeds.
What else do you know?
There used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. Les Setsa, they call them. The 7 Sisters. Only one remains. The rest were burnt in the revolution or used for building materials. We should be respectful here, although the building appears to be deserted. I do not believe we'll find anything connected to the lynching here. Something else, perhaps?
Respectful? Is the lieutenant a follower of DeLoreanism? There it is again. A small pang of guilt. It's time to ask him what happened here.
Do you know why it was abandoned?
I have a theory, yes. There was a police raid a while back. I heard the place was shot to pieces. The old woman in the village was being tactful with us when she didn't mention it. She has more respect for the RCM than many around here.
Who conducted this raid?
Well, your station was involved, I hear. Although I can't be sure.
How come the lieutenant isn't sure? Is this confidential information?
You're not sure?
3 precincts were involved in the raid, and people say Precinct 41 was one of them.
I guess I could have been here.
I'm sorry, I'm not saying you were. It was a clandestine operation. I don't know anything about it. why it was conducted, or who participated. I try not to pry into extra-district matters.
If I was here, I should find out what I was doing.
Good luck. You will not get information on a confidential operation from your station secretary just by calling. If you really don't remember, it might be better to keep this one forgotten. It happened a while ago. It's unimportant to our business in Martinez now.
Are you a follower of DeLoreanism?
Yes, we all are. Her name, body, and rule are synonymous with humanism. The laws we enforce are DeLorean in origin.
I didn't think you were spiritual. I don't like her. She looks like a lever.
The woman looks by in silence, smiling enigmatically.
It's not spiritual, it's constitutional. The DeLorean system does not demand faith, only accordance.
Reconstruct the cracked glass. Let's give it a go.
A jigsaw of
Hey.
broken shards falls into place in front of you. A ghostly reconstruction of the stained glass window. Before it was shattered, there was an older woman beneath the younger one. And a text, a light motif below them both.
What shattered this mosaic?
Unknown. Something during the raid the lieutenant mentioned. Or just hooligans looking for something to break.
Who is this older woman?
The escutcheon on her throne says, Irene the Navigator. She is depicted as an older woman wearing thick-rimmed eyeglasses, holding a golden rights apfel in one hand and a scepter in the other. This is the queen her innocence day advised. Above, she herself is whole. Small figures of wise men, common men, worshippers walk up the stairs to stand at her feet. Secret servicemen, 30 years, stand in a row guarding her. It must have taken years to produce this work in all its dizzying detail.
The motto, what does it say?
Below both women, in luminous black letters, Après la vie, mort. Après la mort, la vie de nouveau. And then, along the left side, Après le monde, la gré. Après le gré, le monde de nouveau. After life, death. After death, life again. After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again. This is the great leitmotif of humanism, a summary of the effect of the discovery of this isola, the Insulindian, on human thinking. A tremendous sea change akin to finding life after death.
Lieutenant, this used to say afterlife, death, after.
Death, life again. After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again. This exaltation is common in DeLorean sacralism. In the early years, it was even incorporated as the RCM slogan. No more, however.
Why?
It was deemed subservient to use a strongly moral intern-related motto. We already suspected of bootlicking. The sentence was also seen as too feminine. It was a macho thing.
What is the RCM motto now?
Justice, union, prudence, and force.
Cool.
Eyes cool.
Step back.
The mother of humanism towers above you. A wax painting on a cracked paint.
Alright, got a skill point now for doing that. I'm glad I got something out of it. I'm building up my authority because I know I need that for another objective which I'm currently trying to accomplish.
Hey, her Innocence Dolores Day liked little figurines, right? Liked holding little men between her fingers, remember?
What?
You have the Headless Falcon Rider figurine. You should give it to her. Win her back.
Win who back? I can't win her back. She's a long dead historical figure. I should, yes, this is a task of mine now.
Don't be so pessimistic. Love doesn't die that easily. So very, very, very nifty. Nifty and mysterious. This is surely what the figurines are for.
Right, so what? I've got to give out a figurine now? Dolores Day is fond of figurines. She deserves more. You should offer her any and all you have on Day. If you meet her in person, what an odd task to give yourself. But here we are. So what, I'm actually trying to meet Dolores Day in person? Oh. New shoes. Right. These dapper snakeskin shoes have an almost invisible white-on-white flower motif sewn on the tongue. The toe caps are still dusty from lying in the church. It gives me +1 empathy. Let's see if they're better than the ones I've got. +1 to indirect modes of taxation. Yeah, I prefer the ones I've got. Really, I've got to go all the way around? A cracked pane of glass, colourful. It came from the stained glass window, still has letters on it now. A spider has spun its web around this wood-carved pillar. Oh, so I didn't have to go all the way around, it's just the game making me do that. That's annoying. Before I talk to that thing up in the rafters, let's see what's going on here. Bottle. What's that? Silk scarf. Pain threshold. Bangers don't cry. Let's see, is it better than my bow tie? It's not cooler then, definitely. No, I don't like that. Frost has drawn flowers on the glass, obscuring the view. A figure drawn in frost on the window, depicting a deer. Right, let's talk to this thing. What was that?
Is that a man? Looks more like part of the carpentry of the building came alive and is now studying you intently.
Looks like a man to me.
The crab man.
This is the police. Show yourself.
The man leaned forward a little, fixing you with a steady, unreadable gaze, then speaks.
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry. Everything's gonna be alright. You come to the right place.
Every little thing's gonna be alright.
That accent is Villalobos, a peninsula in Mesk and a district in Jamrock. There's a sizable contingent of Villalobos-speaking Mesks in Revachol. Hold on. Stop it right there. Pussy, what's with this?
I'm not scared, I just don't understand why the female sexual organs have to be associated with weakness.
You really got a case of frayed nerves, pussy. And this usage comes from pusillanimous. Everybody knows that.
Oops.
Chill out, man. Here you could receive the mother's love. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of that despair at the bottom of that bottle.
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to question him?
I'm put off by this religious stuff, he thinks. And maybe the ceiling climbing, too. It's all very hard to square with the lieutenant's own view of reality.
Yeah, I guess I have a bit of a problem and it's been getting out of hand lately, but I'm a policeman. I need to talk to you about police things. I don't know anything about alcohol use.
Está crudo, way. I see deep inside you. Your body and your spirit are suffering greatly from overindulgence. And you don't even know it.
Great, more patronizing, so original. Oh, I'm very in touch with my suffering. How do you know what I'm feeling? I'm actually here on behalf of some young people looking to establish a nightclub.
Not all of it. I was like you once. You don't know all the havoc El Vino is wrecking on your mind and your spirit. Necesita parar, homie.
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention to what the ceiling climber is saying.
For some reason I feel like you have a point here. Who do you think you are? Some crazy guy under the roof? What is this shit? You know, alcohol is central to my identity. If I wouldn't drink, I just wouldn't be me. This is stupid. I don't even know what this is. That's all well and good, but we need to talk about the unlicensed occupation of ecclesian property.
Don't trust me. Trust the mother. I'm only the messenger, Holmes. This is the Church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here.
You have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. Is he just trying to throw you off your game? 'Tis not an act, my liege, save him perchance he hath deceived his very self. This man is a zealot.
You must be the crab man. Some ravers want to turn this place into a nightclub. Do you know where the other spooker is?
Never known myself to be a crab, but if that's the name you got for me, I won't stop you from using it.
To be fair, it's really more like a spider.
I always thought of myself more like a flame, flickering along the rafters and beams. It may be that I gotta work on my technique.
That's not the only technique he's working on. Look at those carved sculptures. And is that a satchel of tools over there?
What? Wait, did you also carve all those sculptures? What were you before you became a crabman?
Sure am. Whittling wood used to be something I just did to busy my hands. Now I use those same hands in service of something greater than my own restlessness.
You got some nice curves going there. They seem a tad derivative. You're promoting the objectification of women with your reactionary depiction of female bodies. Honestly, I don't get it. All these figures look half finished.
It's all just for the mother, man. No need to overthink it.
What were you before you became a crabman and a wood carver?
I was in a gangway, but my memories of that time are fading. Most of them are already gone.
So many people losing their memory, a certain portent of doom. I lost my memory too, and it haunts me. I lost my memory too, but I like it. It's like I get to create a whole new me, start again from scratch. So you used to be in a gang, but you don't really remember it. Sounds convenient.
That's not really the point, I say. You gotta give yourself over to service. Service of the mother, that is.
Do you remember your name, sir?
The lieutenant is not particularly interested in this information. He's just trying to assert some control over the conversation.
Tiago's my name, but those syllables don't mean much to me these days. A name isn't just your identity, but also, so to speak, your place amongst your fellows, your place in the world. I ain't got no use for such a place anymore.
My name's Harry.
That's just the thing, Holmes. None of that matters.
What are you doing here?
This is a special place. There's a perforation in the world up there, a way out into nothingness. This church was built around it for purposes of veneration. I circled it, nurtured by the silence bestowed by the mother. One of these days, I'll be pure enough to go drink from it directly.
This mother of silence, you mean her?
No. There's a new god in town, and she can be painted or sculpted because she has no limb or even a face. She is the end. She is a cavity in the dark beyond sense. She saved me, but I couldn't describe her to you. No one can, Holmes, and no one ever will.
What will happen once you drink from this perforation?
I will be incinerated, but not destroyed. Finally, I won with the state of the world before reality began.
That sounds a bit like substitution behavior, no? You know a thing or two about that.
You sure you didn't just switch one drug for another?
It's not like that at all, man. It's just faith and joyful service.
Too gleeful, those words. He is lying. Not to you, to his very own self.
Faith is a kind of drug.
I heard that before, Way. And I know I can't convince you on the spot. But think, when's the last time you woke up from silent communion with a hangover, regretting what you did last night?
There are drugs darker than alcohol circling your system.
I think love might have been my drug of choice, and I think I'm still hungover from it.
She took you for a good spin, huh? Don't worry, bro. That love is but a drop compared to the ocean of the mother's love. The mother will eat all of you and never spit you out.
Let's agree to disagree.
I know it will take time. Don't sweat it. I know it will take time. Don't sweat it.
Don't know why I've seen it twice, but alright. I still don't understand what you're doing in the
I'm
church.
a seraph, Holmes. I sing the mother's glory.
Can you sing for me? Sing me something. Doesn't make sense for you to sing if she's not the mother of silent.
I ain't from no Marietti, if that's what you're thinking. And the song I sing is silent as the mother.
Marietti is a mesque style of music and dance, commonly seen at all manner of festivities, especially weddings. It's delightfully quaint, owing to its peasant origins.
How did you even find this place?
Hard to say. I think I did some construction work here, back when I still had material worries. Up there, I realized what the true purpose of the church was. Been spending a lot of time here ever since. The past is nothing to me now, Way. It didn't belong to me.
Are these yours? The shirt and the scarf and the shoes?
I think they were. A long time ago. I had to shed them like skins to get closer to the center of the silence. You could have them. I don't need them anymore.
The sinewy figure lingers on the wooden beams, blending into the shadows.
You've been here a long time. Did you see the police raid that took place here?
Something like that.
Did you witness it?
Not really. Or at least I don't remember much of it anymore. The mother's love has done its job. That's what's so great about the mother. It lets you forget about everything.
Some ravers want to turn this place into a nightclub.
The ones in the tent outside, right? I see them. Guessing they're the ones who call me a crab. Probably scared of me.
Wait, did he have a reason to be scared?
Nah, man. They look pretty funny. And I don't harm no one anymore. Anyway.
So, what do you think about the nightclub, that is?
Why not? They wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually way up there, imbibing. Ain't no music on earth that can reach where I go. Might even be nice to have some company.
He said that in spite of himself. He's more attached to the human than he'd like to think.
Do you know where the other spooker is?
Other spooker? Oh, esa viejita es muy estudiosa. Don't know, Holmes.
Viejita is Grandma?
Wait, so there is another person living in this church. And it's a Veita, right, thanks. I'll see if I can find her some other way.
No. I just call her viejita because of her clothes. She's actually quite young. Or maybe not that young. Age is just one of the many masks we wear.
And you don't know where she is.
That's what I said, Holmes.
How can you not know that when you both live here? Well, if he's up in the dark all the time, that might give it away.
Don't really follow her comings and goings. Just see her typing on her computer now and then. We got different interests.
So you've got nothing else to tell me? How she looks, what she does, who she is?
I'm afraid not, Essay. You just have to wait until she comes back, or
search through her radio computer.
Have you by any chance heard the Vita say the password to her radio computer?
too many times, Essay. You need it for something.
Surveys are a good way to fish for personal information, especially in the name of public safety.
I'm doing a survey of passwords and passcodes, identifying regional trends in the interest of public safety, of course. Just tell me what the password is. Yes, it's for a first-degree murder investigation in Martinique. Honestly, I just want to break into a radio computer.
Don't sweat it, vato. The password is afterlife death. What you think of that? Makes me almost pity La Nilita Pequeña when I hear it. I think we're done here, Essay.
Alright.
That was an interesting conversation. However, I'm still not sure how it's relevant to our investigation.
Hold your horses, Kim. You'll find out. Right, what was this? Wasteland Reality. It's been brought to your attention that you're an alcoholic, and that it's a sickness, and it's killing you. You're crawling on your knees through life, your booze-filled belly dragging on the ground, your brain now fuzzy, now in overdrive, your hair sticking together with today's cold sweat and yesterday's vomit. Perhaps they're right. Anything is better than this, even bone-dry reality itself. Maybe you can quit? Okie dokie, that's that. Right, back to this computer.
The machine's keyboard is still elusive. The speaker
Good afternoon. Votre accident on Saint-Brune. Good. Please repeat the password.
Afterlife death.
Good. I have unlocked the filament. After ending the call, please press print to access the filament. Votre accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today? Goodbye, votre accident.
The machine's keyboard. The printer prints out a long text document with dated paragraphs. It looks a bit like someone's journal.
Read the
The
printout.
first entry, made on the 4th of February, 51, by an unknown author, is short and concise. Arrived at the church. The door was boarded up, so I used the crowbar to get inside. Looks like the place has been deserted. Nothing out of the ordinary, but I'll ask around. Need to figure out how to get the electricity in. The lieutenant leans closer, scouring the printout over your shoulder. Just as you finish reading, he looks up, muttering under his breath.
4th of February. That's over a month ago. Whoever set up those machines has been here for quite a while.
Do you think this log might be connected to the case?
Our case? No, I don't think so. It must be some local eccentric.
Read the second entry.
6th of February, 51. Had a little chat with the local fishermen. Said I shouldn't go near that place, that the church was spooky and ridden with narcotics. It's a little spooky, all right. Still haven't figured out the electricity. See? Even one of the spookers themselves says it's unnerving. 7th of February, 51. Finally got the electricity in. Next on the agenda, a new antenna. I'm thinking ESCA series, something advanced.
Why would anyone need any of this equipment here?
Read the fourth entry.
8th of February, 51. Bought the antenna, had some problems setting it up. Called Simon for help. Heard the others are back to making art. drinking somewhere out of town. Sulislav started a rock band again. Lexi has been seen asking money from strangers. But at least the artists have their act together. They're qualified labor. They can get work anywhere. Graphic design, ads. The programmers are doing fine too. I mean, they're programmers. The writers, though, they're fucked.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I just have to find out what caused that data loss and be done with it. Still don't understand how it managed to wipe out the backup, when the backup wasn't even connected to the front. I know. Everyone thinks it's impossible. They say I must be lying. I'm here to set it right.
A data loss?
Seems like something to do with radio computers. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about them to understand what the author is saying. Something about the backup data getting destroyed, and how everyone thought it was the author's fault. Let's just keep reading.
Artists, programmers, Lexi, who are all these people?
I think these people worked in the radio computer games business, the one we saw in the Doom commercial area. They must be our former co-workers.
12th of February, 51. Brought some food from the grocery store. Apparently, there's a strike going on in the harbor. Definitely not happy to see the Martinez people again. Everything's now set up in the church. Going to start working tomorrow, 8 a.m.
The strike. We are nearing the date of the murder. Keep reading. I'm interested now. I want to know what's that radio anomaly that sent this person here in the first place.
25th of February, 51. I've been sending data up to Lintel for a while now, trying to recreate the data loss, but nothing. Didn't even feel like logging in for disappointment. But I did discover a curious audio-spatial anomaly at the back of the church. I've named it the Swallow. It swallows sound. Need to get some mics.
Is she talking about?
Read the 7th entry.
28th of February, 51. Yes, the first recordings confirm that the swallow is real, and I'm not just losing my mind. It's a pillar of silence, with a diameter of approximately 3 meters. Seems like the higher I go, the less I record. This might be a coincidence, or it could be connected to the data loss that led me here.
The pillar of silence. She is talking about the silence. Is she suggesting it's more than just an architectural quirk?
But what could it be?
The lieutenant doesn't answer. He follows your gaze, studying the basins. The water shines in them. No ripples. March 51. Some kind of young disco men have appeared next to the church. I've been trying to record the silence to find the epicenter, but now it turns out I've also been capturing the future of dance music, one neo-disco song over and over again. Fortunately, the song is so monotonous, I was able to devise an algorithm to factor it out. The other day, one of the disco men came in. Before I could even say hello, she got scared and left. Good, I don't want anyone distracting me from my work. That disco man must be a cell.
She must be describing a cell.
The girl on the ice? Sounds like her, yes.
March 51. I got a call from the repeater station. Someone has tried to access the radio computer in our old office in Martinez. Can't do anything about it. The storekeeper still doesn't want to let me inside the building. Thinks I'm part of some kind of curse. How Martinez of her.
That's me. I was the one who broke into that radio computer, and the storekeeper must be Plaisance.
I knew it wasn't a good idea to meddle with that machine.
No. It was a great idea. You're learning things. This is how you learn things about machines. March 51. A new 2-meter aux cable. Noodles. Crackers. Ping-pong energy drinks. Water. Toothpaste. Gum. Also, some canned air. Your reading was interrupted by the sound of the church door opening. A string makes straight for the radio computer.
Just seems to be completely ignoring me.
Breaking into my radio computer, I see.
I do apologize for the intrusion, madame. We are with the RCM, you see.
We're here on a side case representing certain music venue organizers. We're not just breaking in, I'm pursuing a mysterious lead searching for my lost identity.
Well, you won't find any music venue organizers here. It's just me and my computer, and it has been this way for weeks. Now please give me some room. I need 2 seconds to see that you haven't destroyed anything.
We should talk to her after she has rebooted the machine.
Okay, does that mean I've got to come back later, or can I just, like, question her now?
What is it?
I didn't break anything, did I?
No, you just printed out my personal log and wasted some paper.
Hey, are you the lead programmer of Wirral Unearthed by any chance?
Yes. Or, no. Not anymore. That project is dead.
She doesn't seem surprised to be recognized. Rather sad. Something passes over her face before she straightens her back.
Sorry, but who are you? What are you doing here?
I am Soona Luukkanen-Kilde, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident and RSA radios. I have over 16 years of programming experience, and I'm proficient in both Vox and Orbis languages. If you're not here to hire me, I don't really know how I can help you.
Did she say over 16 years of experience? She must have started programming when she was still a teenager.
Have you seen the Crab Man?
No?
But you know he's around.
Yes.
He's seen you. And the Crab Man has seen you. Okay, it's probably not a big deal then.
No, you're right. I'm not.
Why are there so many machines in this place?
I brought them here. These are my machines. Please don't touch anything.
Why do you need an antenna?
I use the AR-1 as my RAIN prefix processing unit.
RAIN Prefect, that's your radio computer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that antenna is its processing unit?
Yes. You really don't know anything about radio computers, do you?
I don't really know much about anything in this world, to be honest.
Alright. Well, all radio computers perform operations up on air. So in order to gain more processing power, you need to invest in a good antenna.
Yeah, that really wasn't an opening for you to explain everything, but fair enough. And the AR1, is it a good antenna?
I guess it is. So far I've been quite satisfied with it. Martinez is an unstable region with bad coverage, and the operation has been surprisingly stable. But it's not the cheapest one on the market, so I wouldn't recommend it for your regular red tape operations. Fraser 1000 is a foolproof line for civilians. Anyway, you should do some research before you decide to buy anything. Ask around, compare the prices. There are many milieux dedicated to that sort of thing.
She liked telling me this. It calmed her nerves.
What are you doing with your radio computer?
I'm working.
The machine seems almost alien with its pulsing core. The light casting her face in a strange shadow.
Working on what?
Could you just shh for a moment? Or get to the point. I really need to focus on something.
She really doesn't care that I'm like a police officer, does she?
It's not just rudeness. It really is hard to concentrate on whatever she needs to do. And you're not helping.
Isn't your RAIN Prefect radio computer made exclusively for the government use?
So you do know something about computers. You're right. Prefect is used mostly by the government peeps.
And you work for the government?
No, I don't.
So why do you have it?
Because I needed something good for my investigation, and RAIN Civic is widely agreed to be below all standards. So I had to upgrade. Besides, owning a RAIN Prefect isn't such a big deal anymore.
No, actually, it is kind of a big deal. You don't see RAIN Prefects in every police department, for example.
How did you get your hands on it?
I know a friend of a friend who used to freelance for the Coalition. I was actually aiming for the military-grade frame Rational series, but couldn't find one. Prefect is mainly based on the same technology as Reims Civic, so it's kind of a rip-off. But it does have better compatibility with newer antenna models, so I won't complain.
What about those bowls of water over there?
They are connected to my Reim Prefect. Whatever you do, just please don't move them, okay? Thanks.
Short and terse. There you have it. Whatever she's using them for, they're hers.
Right, I'll try not to touch anything. Next question.
Great.
What are you doing in an abandoned church?
You really like those questions, don't you?
They're bloodshot. She really hasn't been getting much sleep lately, has she?
I'm a police officer. It's my job to ask questions. You're occupying a public space. I need to know what you're doing here. There have been complaints from your neighbors.
I'm conducting scientific research here. You can't throw me out.
What
I'm
research?
looking for the location of a 2mm hole in the world.
Wait, what? She's looking for a disruption in the radio waves. That's what her personal log said. The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything.
Is the hole connected to the data loss in your journal?
Yes, that's what led me here. But I suspect it might be something a bit more complicated than that.
A hole in the world. What does that mean exactly?
Exactly. What does it mean? Up to now, it has been impossible to say what it is because it's impossible to measure nothing. What do you think it is? What qualities does nothing have? How do you measure something that does not exist?
Alright, this is getting confusing now. I have no idea where it's heading.
Easy. You measure it by the world around it.
Hold on a moment. Does it mean we're now living in a world that has holes in it? You measure it by collecting data on its surroundings, on that which exists. I can't even understand how we're talking about something that doesn't exist, let alone measure it. I don't know, I'm not here for some science. I just want to solve a murder so I can go home.
Exactly. Very true. That's what I've been aiming for. That's why I have those basins. I've tried using hydro transducers to record the silence, to find out where it begins. But honestly, it's not progressing very well.
Do you have any idea where this hole might be located?
Somewhere underneath those roof beams, I assume.
Only a faint crisscross of rafters can be made out from the dark. Most of the tower disappearing into the shade.
Why there? Probably because it's the most awkward place to get to.
There's this place at the back of the church. A place where all audible vibrations seem to decease. I've named it the Swallow. And the higher you go, the less you record.
The Pillar of Silence? Are you sure it's not just an architectural quirk?
Maybe, but it's oddly close to the physical coordinates of the data loss that led me to this place.
This is where the Crabman lives.
I know.
You don't think Crabman might be somehow responsible here?
No, I don't.
You said that the research isn't going well. Why not?
Because it's just trial and error, trying to locate the Swallow, the exact point in space. And I don't have a... You know what? It would be really helpful if you could just stop talking and let me work.
That's all I want to know about the scary 2mm hole in the world. For now.
Great. Thanks.
Hey, about that 2mm hole again. I'll ask that later. How would you feel about Nordic dance music?
What? I hate it.
I bet she hasn't even heard it.
What are you, 40? It's the future of dance music.
Maybe I'd have to be on drugs to get it, but to a sober mind it just sounds like uninspired rug whipping. No idea what it has to do with either dancing or music.
Right, but how do you feel about a club for Nordic dance music?
This is about those speed freaks in the tent, isn't it? I've got some news for you. It's not a nightclub they want to build here.
What do they want to build here?
Take a guess, why don't you?
A youth centre would be nice, a pet and zoo, a place for animals, maybe some community space to help the elderly. I'm still convinced they want to establish a nightclub for Nordic dance music. They said it's their dream.
I can't believe they got you so easily. Go have another talk with those up-and-coming entrepreneurs, will you? Thanks.
Good luck. I'm not coming in there.
Right, I'll let you work in peace now. I have a feeling my character has been established as a little gullible. What was that? Tell Andre about Suna's thoughts on the nightclub. Right. Let's go speak to this group again. So far I've been streaming for 1 hour 6 minutes approximately, and all I've done is spoke to 2 people in a church.
Hi again. So, how are things going?
About the church, I checked it out.
And? What happened?
I talked to the crab man.
Oh man! Who is he? What did you think?
Seemed okay, to be honest. Very spiritual. He gave me this odd lecture on alcoholism before rambling on and on about mother's love. You're right, he's a true narcomaniac, and the way he climbs it was terrifying.
Really? Huh. Interesting. What's he doing in the church?
Just preaching and praying from the looks of it. He clearly enjoys the physical activity. Guy climbs like a freak. There's something sinister going on under the building's roof. I think he's getting high or something.
What do you mean?
I'm not sure, I'm just telling you what it felt like. It didn't sound like a sober man's talk. He must be getting visions up there.
No matter. Is he gonna be a problem? Yeah, Noid is right. Let's get back to the point. What are we gonna do about him?
These guys will never catch him. You will never catch him. There's nothing to do.
Well, not that top one. He keeps himself physically active, thinks spiritual thoughts, and doesn't drink. Who am I to evict such a person? As far as I can tell, he's not going to leave. He'll climb around up there, and guys, you'll never catch him. Actually, he told me he wouldn't mind the nightclub at all.
I don't know, man. Doesn't it feel like a major hindrance to you? A spooky guy climbing around when all the guests are trying to have nice, friendly hyper time?
You're just gonna have to live with the crab man. Don't worry, I don't think he really gives a damn about you or anyone else.
I guess it's not a massive problem, now that I think of it.
Everyone is welcome to dance till the morning light! Yeah!
Maybe. I guess we'll figure something out. Okay, but what about the other spooker? The one in Grandma's clothes? Did you see her?
I was using the mainframe when Suna, the former lead programmer of the Fortress accident, appeared.
A programmer? That's odd. What was she like? Did you ask her about the nightclub?
Well, she said you guys haven't been completely honest with me about your plans.
Come on, man. Who will you trust? The spooky programmer or us? We just want to make the world a better place.
Feel the love! Get down and feel it!
A half-hearted sell of something which does not seem worth buying.
Love? No, I'm not really feeling it at all.
You'll get there, believe me. When we've got our gear set up, things will be flowing and pumping. Anyway, now that it's settled, how did she seem? I mean, disposition-wise, about the dance club idea.
She did not
Yeah,
like
I don't
the
know.
Nordic dance
Rocking
club
it or
idea.
dropping it?
What a pity. That's my favourite thing in the world. And she doesn't like it at all.
A shame. What can we do now? Do you see a way out of this jam? And into a laser-lit future of dance and unity?
Unity! Dance!
She made it very clear that she won't leave until her own project is finished.
And you can't just evict her?
No, I won't evict her. We have to come up with a different solution. I could go for another try, bring down the hammer of the law.
Look at you, Honour Man.
No, Noid. He's right. Maybe we've approached it the wrong way after all. I'm sure there's a workaround. We can make a deal not to bother her. If that's okay with her, we only want to get in the church and spread the joy and ecstasy of music.
The lines in the dark exist! Coexist!
At least Crabman seems like an advanced being. He's hard. He'll understand.
Yeah, he can do his climbing thing in the tower. And the programmer, does she like Nordic dance music?
She absolutely does not. Really, truly despises it.
Egghead cannot believe what you just said. It makes him pump the jam a little slower for a moment, but then he returns to the full swing of it.
No worries. We'll figure it out. If coexisting fails, you can always muscle around, right? If it's all okay with you, what do you think?
I refuse to throw her out, but I can try convincing her.
Excellent! Good luck, my friend.
That's it for now.
Goodbye, officer.
Right, so now back to the church. Back and forth yet again. With long loading screens in between. Well, actually, they're not that long, but they're long enough that they're noticeable.
Yes, what is it?
Right. What if I just force you to leave? I'm a police officer, you have to do what I say. What if you didn't have to leave? I talked to Andre, he wants to make it work.
I don't want to make anything work.
Hold on, you don't want to make anything work?
Yes, anything. I don't want to make anything work.
Alright, got your message. What if I... Right. Convince her to cooperate with the Ravers. 83% chance, I will take that chance.
Easy. When her research is done, she can move out.
Listen, about your research, you mentioned earlier that it's not going very well. Maybe I can help you with something.
What? No, I don't really need any help with the project.
But if I could help you finish the project, then you wouldn't have to live in a church next to the Boom Boom anymore. Just think about it.
She thinks about it. A glassy look in her eyes. A gust of wind brings more snow in from the broken gallery. It touches her hair.
Alright. Bring me the game's off-site copy from my old workspace, if you really want to help. It's stored on a filament memory, and I'm unable to go and fetch it myself.
Is this the filament you're looking for?
No, that's the production schedule you stole and accessed without authorization. I don't need it.
In his defense, it was simply lying in the desk drawer of an abandoned cubicle.
Okay, but still.
What is an off-site copy and why do you need it?
It's a backup of my former employer's project, the radio game we were working on. It's stored on a filament memory, just like the one inside this radio computer.
She's making it extra simple for you.
The backup itself is destroyed now, but I'm hoping to use what's left of it to pinpoint the exact location of the anomaly. You just have to go to my old workspace and get the filament.
Hold on. If it's called an off-site copy, then why is it still on-site?
If it's called an off-site copy, then why is it still on site?
Oh god, not this again. It is not on site. It is in the basement. Perfectly safe and not connected to the front at all.
Basement? Sounds like it's technically still on-site.
And no, taking it outside the building wouldn't have protected it from the data loss. There's nothing wrong with keeping the backup in the basement. What happened was a freak accident that has nothing to do with how the backup was stored. We clear?
This is clearly a painful topic for her. She must have had to explain herself numerous times.
By your old workspace, do you mean the studio of Fortress Accident in the doomed commercial area?
Yeah, that's the one. You can get in through the bookshop. You just have to do some explaining to the bookstore lady.
Wait, bookstore lady? You mean Pleasance?
That's her name, I believe.
Actually, I've already been inside the doomed commercial area.
Good. Then you might know the giant ice bear fridge in the building's cellar. The filament is inside the fridge. Just go and get it.
And where exactly is the off-site copy?
In the giant ice bear fridge. I just told you. It has red glowing eyes. It's impossible to miss. You just need to get the off-site copy from the ice bear.
But you've been to the fridge and it wasn't there. There was a note saying...
I found a note from the ice bear fridge. It said the off-site copy had been moved to a safer place.
Wait. A note from whom? Did it specify where they took the filament memory?
It said the off-site copy had been taken to nearby ice cream maker. The note was signed by someone named Sulislaw.
Jawiza. Of course. Our project lead, Sulisław Jawiza. God, he was always so hell-bent on keeping the copy somewhere safe. That feature creep and the Valley of the Heads. Like it would have made a difference. The off-site copy was perfectly safe when the data loss happened. That data loss was anomalous. And the heads... I won't even get into the heads. Millions of them. Go find that copy from that ice cream maker, will you? Thanks.
Valley of 1,000 Heads. You like the sound of that.
I found the ice cream maker but couldn't get it open. It's completely frozen.
This is getting ridiculous. Can't you just defrost it? Or, I don't know. I don't know about the ice cream maker. Just figure something out.
There's a solution, but she doesn't want to hand it over to you yet. It's a thing. Something she holds dear.
Why can't you go and get the filament yourself?
The bookstore lady hates me. Says I'm part of the curse. Whatever that means.
Wait, are you part of the curse?
Of course not. Anyway, I don't have my keys anymore and she won't let me in.
Why does she think you're part of the curse?
Because she's from Martinez, and people from Martinez have never ever seen a radio computer. She thinks it emits elemental evil.
Yeah, people in our age really don't like to get with the times. Don't be too harsh. That's only because of their socio-economic situation.
Yes, but she literally started praying for the higher powers when she first saw my lame Civic. I'm not making this up.
The lieutenant coughs like he's amused.
Once I came in one morning, only to find that my terminal was full of those strange trinkets and amulets. Wards. It looked like some Semenine magic.
Right.
Thanks. And here's my Falsund multitool. You might need it to hack loose some ice. It opens everything. If you get me the offside copy, then you can keep the Falsund.
It hurts a bit for her to say this. She's not too happy to be parting with the Kvalsund.
Right, so now right onto the other side of town. But at least I'm wrapping up a bunch of different things here, it seems, or getting close to wrapping them up anyway. Just gotta travel all the way back, which is tedious. I could fast travel, but you know, you never know what you're gonna come across on the way. Right, let's figure out how to get back. So yeah, still can't interact with the sandcastle due to the glitch. That's still annoying. Can't go that way at all.
The door has seen better days. The layer of paint has started to peel off due to the salt and wind from the sea. Even the lock looks slightly rusted.
Unlock the shack door with the key.
I'll wait outside to give you some time and privacy to check out your new living arrangement. But just so you know, after we are done with the day, I'll still be staying in the whirling in rags for the night. We'll meet in front of the shack in the morning.
The key turns with a satisfying click. You can enter the shack now.
Alright, so this is where I'm gonna be living now. You can't see into the house from this angle. Inside you hear the cozy sound of some kind of heater sputtering. Let's see what my new accommodation is like. small. Cozy, I suppose. The floorboards creak under your step. This intricate heat engine hums quietly, giving out pleasant warmth. Old science fiction magazines, books about bird watching, and almanac from 39.
On the table, you see a bowl of water, a rough soap, and next to it, a small hand mirror. A straight razor soaks inside the wash basin.
Is shaving the right call?
The water reflects back a vague image of your face. Nose bulbous and red, hair unkempt, wrinkles lining the eyes and forehead. The stash is gigantic.
Hand-eye coordination, time to shave, get these mutton chops off. Oh, I'm not sure if I want to do that. I mean, it's quite a distinct look, isn't it? You see the waves, the sea, a church.
An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see the reflection of your face in it, adorned with the expression. On the table, you see a bowl of water, a rough like an artist with a brush or a master swordsman. You use the small mirror and the straight razor with some soap to remove all that unkempt hair from below the nose line. The sharp blade chafes against your skin, producing a scratching sound. The surface underneath the beard feels tender, the air brushing against it chilly.
Hope this was the right decision.
Beneath the doubt sprouts a new vigor, like you've discarded some bad decisions. It feels as though you've passed through a ritual, emerged from cold water, even.
Was shaving the right call?
The water reflects back a vague image of your clean-shaven face. Despite the bulbous nose, unkempt hair, and persistent swelling, you look a little younger, maybe. You almost look like a professional.
Let's zoom in. Ah, okay. It's interesting. Can't really tell because of the graphical art design, but it's something. What's that? Oh. Korojev jacket. Checkmate. This swanky checkered jacket flatters your form in a way that makes you feel fun, kind of serious. It has really nice roomy pockets too. Right. And with that, as I head towards areas I have yet to explore, I'm going to bring this stream to an end tonight because my dog wants his stick and he will get mad at me if I don't give him it. So, if you've liked this stream, why not follow me on Twitch? If you're watching it on YouTube, why not subscribe to my channel? That's Games with Grant on YouTube, where you can catch all of my video game content, including my playthrough of Disco Elysium. And, of course, keep an eye out in the next few days for something special on my YouTube channel, Games with Grant. There will be a new video coming out soon. Is it about Mass Effect? Yes, it's about Mass Effect. Also, why not check out my Film and TV YouTube channel? That is my name, Grant Burton, in YouTube, for all of my film and TV content. This past week I released a couple of videos reviewing the latest Star Wars books. So if you're interested in the Star Wars, you're interested in the expanded universe, check those out. And why not go over to Twitter and Instagram, follow me there at @the_Grant Burton for all of my thoughts and opinions and any general news from me, up to date as I get them. Until next time though, that's been my stream for today. Thanks for watching.